Hello folks, this is John here of the Renegade Commentary and the Renegade Perspective, and not wearing glasses today and next episode. But before I go on, I'm going to apologize for my last episode, 140. I didn't have any pop-up pictures in my last episode. The reason is because I had problems with my video editing software where I couldn't really produce the video. It would make the video and then it would just quit on me. So I had to make it low key and make it low brow whatsoever. So again, apologize for that. And I wanted to show pictures of George Floyd, the person who got killed. Maybe next episode. Anyways, looking at stage 2 now, that at least Ontario is going to stage 2. I'm guessing maybe some parts of Canada is going into stage 2, which is kind of a good news in a way, because now that stage 2 is happening, we can now actually look forward to at least a little bit more socializing. But still, we're still in a bit of a semi-lockdown situation. But stage 2 is basically now happening. You basically get to do a little bit more things, but it's kind of like you have to do it by the numbers. So say if you want to, I don't know, get your hair cut, you have to call in and you have to make an appointment. So basically like that, so they can minimize how many people are in, so they can maintain social distancing whatsoever. But the way I see it, we could be going into stage 3 sooner than we think, because according to the numbers, I think the case numbers are starting to slowly drop now, because before it was on the rise. It was like 400 cases a day, but now that the cases are starting to drop a bit, now we can start looking forward to a little bit more activity, something we couldn't do for the last 3-4 months of this year so far. So stage 2 going in, it's kind of good, because now we can probably do some other things that we couldn't do before, but we have to make it an impacted number here. So what I mean by that is, again, it's like if you wanted to go get your hair cut, you got to make an appointment. So it's like hair salon has to do, I don't know, 6 people at a time, so that way there's social distancing. And sorry, allergies. So basically distancing yourself still while someone's doing your hair. Or basically shopping centers are opening, but they only let in so many customers as they did in grocery stores. So this is how I'm looking at it, is stage 2 is now in effect, at least in Canada. I don't know about the US. I think the US kind of reopened itself a little way too prematurely, and I think the numbers is going to be so much high down the States. However, you know, stage 2 in Canada is happening so far, which is kind of a bit of a good news, because Canada handled this a little bit better than the US. But of course, with Donald Trump in charge, he's not going to handle things a little bit better no matter what. And this is a real tragedy of it on itself, because I think US case studies is going to keep skyrocketing. And already, you know, you have some Americans wanting to come over to Canada, but as far as I'm concerned, the border is still closed, I think. I have to check on that. But if the border's still closed and the Americans still want to go into Canada, I hope not. And I'm sorry for saying that, but basically, if they get into Canada, we could be back at square one. And stage 2 would be like self-isolation heavily all over again. So, typically, sorry, checking the time, typically, stage 2 is now happening in Canada, at least also in Ontario. So things are looking up and up, and I think Ontario and Canada could be looking at stage 3 pretty soon. I don't know. It's hard to say. But if stage 3 happens, more things could open up. Parks could open up. You know, we could go to a park and stay there, but maintain social distancing. So things are looking up. That's great. Keep praying for this resolution. You know, God will handle it in His time, not our time. And hopefully this whole thing can be finally beaten at last. So this is my look at going into stage 2 in Canada and in Ontario. And hopefully more good news is on its way. So this is John here of the Renegade Perspective and the Renegade Commentary. And as always, stay healthy, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.